Hello.
Hello, guys. Bravo, bravo. One more thing.
Hello.
Please, can you
You
still
went off at the time.
went off? Okay.
I can hear you now, yes.
All right. Let me try. Can you see my screen?
Your name is showing on your screen. Nothing else.
Let me share my screen.
Get away, yo. Away, yo.
So confirm when you can.
Just the back off now. Just the back off.
Let me try.
Yes, you're on now. But you still need to mute everybody from the background.
Chloe,
All right. I'm doing that.
Jojo, please,
Maybe
can you give that?
someone and post access to access.
Please, can you mute everyone?
I think everyone is muted now. Okay. All right. Sorry for the break in transmission. All right. So we are on web services. Please confirm that you can hear me. Hello.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay. So
Yes, we
web
can hear you.
services, another API terminology is web services. So simply put, web service are just APIs that are exposed on the internet. So there's a saying that all APIs are not web services, whereas all web services are APIs. So what differentiates a web service from an API is that web service is exposed on the internet, and API is within a private network. For instance, most of us work in organizations where we make use of LAN network. So when you're trying to execute an API within your network, that is referred to as APIs. But when it's now exposed on the internet, so it is referred to as web services. So example of web services that we have are AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. So that's just the difference between API and web services. So during the course of our training, we'll be making use of HTTP verb or API verbs. So the API verbs that we make use of in Postman are get request, post request, update, put, patch, and delete. So other terminologies are idempotency. So what idempotency means is an API request that is being called several times and the state doesn't change. An example is the GET request. So whenever you send a GET request, it keeps displaying the same thing. So another one is the PUT request. So after the first update, when you send a PUT request, it keeps displaying the same thing. So another terminology is payload. So payload is basically the body of a request. You get to see more of that after we install. Another thing is the URL, then parameter. So then another one is response body. So let me quickly define what this API verbs means. Okay, so for get request, what it simply means is to get a request, get a resource. So then for post, post means it should make an update, like it should make a complete update. So then put means to make Okay, sorry. Post means to create a new resource. Why put means to update. You update a resource entirely. Why patch is just a partial update. And delete means you clear out the resource. So I would like to spot the difference between put and patch. So a put request is a total update of a resource, while patch is a partial update. So I would like to cite an example. So let me use a UI, an application, as an example. So for instance, you need to update your profile on an application. So when, for instance, in your profile, you want to change just a spelling in your name, in your profile name. So that is a patch, a partial update. So let's say you completely change your password. So on that application, that is a put. So then another terminology we have is HTTP and HTTPS. So when you're testing an API, one thing you need to consider is to ensure that the API is secured. So in some organizations, this is part of the entry criteria for testing applications, either UI or backend services or web services. So you need to ensure that the HTTP or the URL of the application is secured. So how do you differentiate an HTTP, a secured URL and unsecured URL? So you can see the URL I have here. Please, you can tell me if this falls under a secured or an unsecured URL. Can somebody try?
Unsecured URL.
All right. Thank you. So please, can you tell us how you were able to detect that this is an unsecured URL?
Because on the URL, HTTP is, doesn't have encryption. Why HTTP? If it was HTTPS, it will have encryption. So as you can see on the URL link, it is HTTP and it's not HTTPS.
All right. Thank you, Ayomide. So going forward, can someone tell us the downfall of not using a secured URL to conduct test on an application? Can anyone try? Okay, Precious. I think Precious is trying to say something. Hello.
Can you hear me?
All right, I can hear you. Please, can you tell us your name?
Yeah, my name is Vincent. All right, so I think one of the reasons the unsecure URL basically it's just that it makes the site to be more vulnerable to like spywares and attackers people basically. That's it.
Sorry, you were not audible enough. Can you try to like use a clearer voice? You're using the deep baritone voice. Can you project it?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, beautiful. So I was saying that it just basically means that the URL or the website will be unsecured, and it kind of opens it up to attackers and so on. Basically, that's what I was trying to say.
All right, beautiful. Thank you for that contribution. So that's just it. You have said it all. So let's move on. So as a quality assurance engineer, so it's very vital that before you proceed on testing any application within your organization, there is an entry criteria that has to be met, either for a UI a database testing, an API testing, a mobile app testing, any form of testing. So there should be an entry criteria. So for also, I'll say it differs for different organizations. So for API testing, as a QA, you need to ensure that the endpoints are all accessible. So in other words, as a QA, you need to certify that the endpoints are stable. So while trying to access these APIs, you shouldn't be getting 404 error. I'll still talk more about the status codes that we have. You should have access to test this endpoint. So another thing is API documentation should be provided. So I'll say we have two types of organization. We have a standard organization, and we can have a startup organization that things are not well structured. So as a QA engineer, you should be ready to test in any of the circumstance you find yourself. So you should be able to conduct thorough testing on the application in form of API or in form of UI or in form of mobile. So you should be able to conduct the tests. You should be able to conduct your tests seamlessly. So API documentation needs to be provided. So in a standard organization, it all depends. You might get the API documentation link from your developer. Maybe in your organization, you document your stuff on Confluence. Some organizations use Jira. Some organizations use TestRail, and some use Swagger. And let's talk in terms of a startup right now. So you can also liaise with your developer. So some developer are so strategic enough to provide an API documentation where you can start off your test with. So then some other organizations are organizations where maybe we don't have a structured documentation. So many devs has exited the organization. So then we have, let's say we have only the UI available. So that might be a very tedious work for the QA. So you might need to get on the UI and start tracing the APIs. But as a QA organization, we should try to enforce quality in terms of documentation. So documentation needs to be prepared. So another thing is the staging environment or test environment should be stable. So these are all basic and entry level for all kind of tests. Then before you kickstart your test, there should be a sign off. It depends on the environment you're working on. It might be an agile environment or a waterfall environment. I know most banks, they make use of waterfall. So what do I mean by waterfall? So the requirement gathering and everything would have been completed at the inception of the project. So they just wait to the phase when the application is ready and the testing teams take it up from there. So, but in an agile environment, the tester is part of the meetings, all the earlier meetings and the communication about the project. So you should ensure that the synergy between the developer, the business team. Just a minute, trying to meet someone. Okay, so there should be collaboration between the development team, the business team, and the QA team. In other words, you have gotten an approval to proceed with testing the application. So that being said, I think we are getting close to the core and the purpose of why we are gathered today. So this is Postman Setup. Please, can you indicate in the chat session if you don't have Postman set up on your system. If you don't have Postman set up on your system.
I don't. I'm about to download.
All right, so I'll drop the link on the chat. So just visit Postman. Let me try to.
Check if you have the version.
What? No way. No, you can still now. You can still have finished. Where?
Because I have Postman installed. It's just a minute. I'm trying to show you what you should have. So you should have the screen now. Can anyone, if you have it not installed, can you go to the link I shared on the chat? Please give me a thumbs up to know that you're already here. I want everyone to be carried along. It should be an interactive class, please. So is everyone on this screen? I can see 5 people. Do I
Download.
that? Hello?
Some of us are still downloading.
Okay.
You have the link in your mail.
Sorry, you are not really audible.
That's not. Is it not the link?
Hello? Okay, so let's move on. So if you have not signed up, you click sign up for free. So there are 2 modes where you can access Postman. You can download it as a desktop app. Then you can also access it over the internet.
Or is it SEO?
So for you to download it as a desktop app, it all depends if you're using a Windows system, a Mac system. So if you are using a Mac system, you click on this link. If you're using a Windows system, you click on this link to get it downloaded. So then for Mac, if you have a Mac Apple chip system or Mac Intel, you choose one of these links. I believe that most of us are using Windows, and we should have some people also using Mac, by the way. So for Windows, you click. Oh, okay, I'm being redirected to Apple because my system is Apple. So let me know. Have you been able to download the app? Have you registered? Please, I need you to respond.
On it.
Yes.
Okay. So can I go ahead? Or I should give you 2 minutes to get.
Yes, please.
Did you share the link?
Please, can you reshare the link?
Okay.
Yes, please.
I'm trying to share the link. Okay, can you just go to your browser, type postman.com. I don't know why I'm unable to share. Okay, I think I've been able to share it. Confirm if you can get the link. I just shared it now. Please confirm that you have the link now. Hello, are we good to go? Are we good to continue? I believe you should have registered both on the internet, and you should have downloaded your Postman right now. All right. One person indicated. Okay, two persons. All right. So let's go ahead. So here is my Postman. So when you launch your Postman, you should have something like this. You should have home. You should have a workspace. So on your workspace, is everyone on workspace right now? Okay. On your workspace, please, I need you to respond so I don't run faster than you on the call. Is everyone on the workspace?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you click on create workspace. Then you should be navigated to a blank workspace. Then you can click next. Then you give your workspace a name. Okay. So here we have internal and public. So if you want to be the only one that can access the APIs, you can select internal. If you want people, anybody all around the world to access it, you can select public. But it's always best to put it in internal, because let's assume you are working in an organization, you don't want to expose your company's API to hackers all over the internet. So you select internet and create. Okay, so you should have something like this. So you can decide to change the theme of your Postman. So you change that by going to settings. You click on this gear icon, then go to settings. Then there is themes. Then you can select dark or white. I selected white. You can see the theme has changed. It all depends on your choice, if you like to see it as black or as white. So after that, we go next to creating collections. So collection is basically a resource that manages all your API requests. So you get to save all your requests in a collection. So you click on this plus icon. When you click on the plus icon, you have the blank collection.
Sorry for cutting.
A bit slower, please. Some of us, our internet is.
Some of you, I didn't get you.
I didn't get the theme part of selecting whether it's white or dark.
Okay, you go to this gear icon. Are you there?
Yes.
Click on it.
Mm-hmm.
Then go to settings.
Yes.
Then go to Teams.
Mm-hmm.
Then here,
Yes.
it's drop down.
Mhm.
Select either dark. You see it has changed it. Then close the button.
Okay. Okay.
Let me try to drop. Okay. You go to from workspace. I'm dropping something like a navigation. From workspace, you click on collection, then so that is creating collection. Then changing theme. You go to settings, then you go to themes, then you select that. So I like to change mine to lights. So let's go back to the so when you are creating your collection, I always advise that you put your resources or API request in a folder so that um, it is easily maintainable, and it's can be easy for a new individual on the project to understand uh, the project setup. So here is a collection. Then with this, you can create a folder from here. Add folder. So you can decide to name your collection anything. Okay, you name the folder, the title of the project. So we shall be considering about two free API resource on the internet during the course of our training. So let me put pet store. The first one is pet store. The second one is JSON, is dummy JSON. So it's a free API online. So if you want to like get your hand dirty, you can go through the internet and type free API resources. You see a lot of APIs that you can get to practice with. So during the course of our training, we'll be focused on pet store and dummy JSON. So I have named my collection pet store. So then these are how you add your requests. Oh, sorry, no. Oh, let's do this. Let me show you how to edit a collection. So you can rename a collection. Let's name this collection pet store. So yeah, you can also rename this request. No, sorry, I think I made a typo here. So this collection, this is what we are naming pet store. Then this resources means like the features you are working with. The features might be user login, creating cards. So it depends on what is stated in the API documentation or in the functional requirements document. So we'll be working on user. The name of the feature that we'll be testing today is user. So you can go ahead, rename this as users. So you can also duplicate this. Let's say you have other. So let's say you have other features like let's say send transaction, add cards. So you go here by, you can duplicate this, duplicate. You can duplicate as many as possible. Then rename this as, let's say, cat. The name of the feature is cat. Yeah. The name, let's assume the name of the feature is user cat. Let's say transaction. Let's say there's a feature too called transaction. So you can organize, you can see how the collection is organized. It's very easy to access. All right, so the next thing that we're going to be looking at is the types of APIs. So we have so many types of APIs, but I'll just like to mention the 3 types that we have. So we have REST API, which is the most common API. It's the most common. It makes use of JSON. So JSON means a key and value pair. That's what it means.
The API test it and then it's okay.
Okay, so then we also have a SOAP API. It means simple object access protocol. So most organizations also use SOAP API. SOAP API is in a standardized format. So it makes use of WSDL. So most of the APIs, they make use of XML. Then the last one is GraphQL. So it makes use of query language. So I'll just briefly show you an example of how the APIs are constructed. So let me go to my collection. Let me go to my workspace. So you can see you can create more than one.
No, don't blush. Won't work.
Just a minute.
Okay.
Please, Adebukola, can you mute? I'm trying to mute you from here. It's not going to. So you can have more than one workspace. Okay, so here I have it. So API types. I'll drop this for you. I'm dropping a link in the chat. So confirm if you can see the link. So this is an example of an API document.
Sorry, we did not see any link. Oh.
Okay, let me share. Confirm you can see it now.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Thank
Okay,
you.
so this is an example of a REST API. So our focus for today will be on this feature. This feature is user. So we shall be automating this during the course of our training. So this is an API documentation. You can see the sample of the request. So this is what they call payload. This is the body of the request. So this is an example of a REST API. So I have it here. Let me get the URL. This is the URL, as you can see. You can also copy it from here. Version 2. So what I copied there is the base URL. They call something base URL. So these things that you see, they call them path, P-A-T-H. So let me get this. The path we have here is /user. So /user. So you are going to be copying this. So I'll drop it in the chat as well. So this is what they call payload. This is a payload. So let me duplicate. So you have an So after creating your request, let's say you have this. So the next thing that you need to do is to copy the endpoint, which is this. I'll drop it in the chat as well. So you copy that, then go to the body. So this body means this is in JSON format. You can see JSON is selected. So REST API is always in JSON format. So this is the key. The key is the ID. This is the value we have here. So that's the structure of a REST API. Yeah. So let me drop the body of request. So what I'm dropping is when you copy this, let me just copy this for you. So this is like the schema setup of what you should be entering. Your username should be a string type. Your first name should be a string type. Your last name should be a string type. Email should be a string type. Password string type, and phone number a string type. So let me try to copy what I have here. So you can edit the name, put your name there, put your your first name, your password. Feel free to put anything as password. Then your phone number. Then your user status. User status, 1 means the user is active, while 0 means the user is inactive. So I want you to try it from your end and let me know what you're getting. So you can see that error that I'm getting. If you are trying to run a request from internet, you won't be able to do so without installing a desktop agent. So, but I'll go over to using a desktop. But when you are running or testing your API from the desktop, you don't need to install a desktop agent. So I'll go to my desktop app. So here is my desktop app. Let me go over to my workspace. So types of API, that's where I am. So this is the REST API.
Yeah, on be no rug.
Are you with me on the call? Please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, like your screen is up in the restless
Second,
place.
please.
You can see your desktop, your Postman
I can't see my
desktop.
screen anymore.
We can see your
Yes.
screen, but we can't see your Postman desktop
Postman.
app. I was just saying the web.
Let me try to share. I'll try to share my screen.
I see your screen, Abby.
I will share. Confirm if you can see my screen. Let me check it out.
So,
Okay. Are you seeing my screen? Are you seeing my Postman?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Then which workspace are you using?
So this is my own workspace. I called it type of APIs. That's what I name my workspace. It depends on what you name your workspace.
Okay, not the one you created before, Quality Tech. Switch to another.
Yes, I switched to another workspace. I switched to another workspace. I want to show you the types of API. I want to show you the way their structure is before I come back here. So types of API. I said we have REST API. Has anyone been able to call the API?
We need to create a new workspace for that.
No, you don't need to create a new workspace. You can
Use the same one.
add another folder.
Okay.
Add another folder. Or add another collection. Add another collection like this. Blank space. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Is it a white screen you are seeing?
I can see
What?
it.
Okay.
Blank collection.
So let me copy the base URL again. Trying to copy this. I want. Okay, if you click on this, where is it?
how did we get our base URL? Sorry.
What did you say?
How we got the base URL? For a minute, my network was down.
Okay, you can see it's indicated here in the documentation, the Swagger documentation. But you need to, if you copy this, you need to add HTTPS in front. So I'm copying it. I'm going to the REST API. Okay, I even have it here. So you copy that, then we are trying to test user. So you go to user. This is user. The part is slash user. You add that part slash user. You add it to the base URL. Let me go back to, I need to go back to my desktop app. And see what is in my desktop and my web. They are not synchronized because I did not save. So let me go over here and copy that. Copy that. This is my body. Then I need to save. If you don't save your request, if you log out of Postman, all changes will not be saved. So you must always save your request. So is anyone getting this response?
Yes.
Okay. So I think we are all clear about what the REST API is. So that's the REST API.
We done the get method. It is still the post.
This is a post method.
Okay.
So like I said, we have different types of HTTP or API verbs. You can see this is it. We have the get to get a resource, just to fetch a resource. We have the post to create a completely new resource. This is put to update a resource, partial update, then delete to delete a resource. So the API verb we are currently using is post.
Sorry, please. Can I ask a quick question? I wanted to find out if the recorded version of the class was sent, and if yes, how can I get it?
Don't worry, I'll still share this. The recording of today will be shared on YouTube. I'll share the YouTube link with you. It will be uploaded to YouTube. Then anyone can have access to it.
Will it be sent via email, or there's like a community where we'll have to join to save?
All right, I'll still create a WhatsApp group. As long as you register, I have your phone number. So I'll drop you.
We couldn't register with the QR code shared on your LinkedIn because the QR code is so maybe you could share a link where we can register if possible, please.
Okay. I think after this call, I will go back to LinkedIn and post the registration link so that you can register.
Okay.
All right.
Now, what about the endpoint? The endpoint link, URL link.
Okay, so I'll still after sharing that video, I will drop it in the link. You have access to everything.
Okay.
I'll also be sharing a sample test case. So before I forget, before we get to this stage of testing, you're supposed to have like the API documented in a test case. So this is more of like you planning for your test before you get to this stage. So I have a sample. I'll still show you shortly. So when we are done with API types, I'll share a sample of an API test cases with you. So you need to, after planning your tests, so during test execution, you should have created test case. So it is that replica of that test case that you are moving to Postman. So an outside person should be able to look at your API test case at a glance, and they should be able to map it with all test case scenarios created on Postman. So let's go over to SOAP URL, SOAP collection, the SOAP API rather. So for SOAP API, I will drop you a sample of an open source SOAP API. So confirm if you can see it on the link.
I got 500 internal server error. What does it mean?
Okay, it means the resource is not available.
Okay.
There is something wrong with the server. There is a disconnect in the communication of the server. Is that what you're getting?
Yes.
So I think something is wrong. Maybe something is wrong with what you passed. Are you passing a post request?
Yes, post request.
Is your endpoint correct? I hope there
Yes.
are no spaces.
Yeah, I copied the same endpoint to put on it.
Let me see. Okay, let me do something else. There's a way to copy call, CURL. So can you see?
Yes.
So you go over to this place, this icon. I'm just showing you how you can copy. So I'm going to send this to you. I'll send it on the platform.
Okay.
So what you will do, you copy that call I sent, copy everything, and you go to, this is basically how to import an endpoint for a API request. So this is how to import. So you go here. Let me do it on my other screen. Go to import. Are you here?
Yes.
So you copy it here. Then you select, you should have two collections right now that you have created, API types and PEP store. So you select the collection name where you want it to be imported to.
Okay.
So import into collection. So you need to do an update. It's copying one extra thing. You need to update this endpoint. It's copying one extra redundant data. That connects us should not be there. So let me send the endpoints that you put there.
Okay.
On the chat, I will send it. Okay, you should have it now. So I hope everyone has seen how to import a call. So let me try to repeat it again. You go to the endpoint. Let me delete this. You go to the endpoint and go over to this code part. Click on it, then copy. So you can decide to send it to maybe any one of your colleagues that is having issues or that want to have quick access to the endpoint. So they retrieve it by going to import, putting it in this space. Then they can import to whatever collection they want it to be imported to. So that's how to import call. Okay. So going forward, are you fine now? Johnny?
Yes, thank you.
So let's go over to SOAP API. So I share the link with you. Let me try to open the link from here. So this is the SOAP. Well, let me share. On my okay. So these are the endpoints. We can select anyone that we want. List of currencies by code. So we're copying this. This is the body of request. We call this body of request body. We call it body or payload. So this is the body of the request. It's in XML format. You can see whenever you see any payload that is in XML format, it's a SOAP UI, a SOAP API rather. So let's go over here and go to the body. You go to body, then you go to raw and select XML, then you copy it. Then let's get the endpoint or URL. Let's try to get that. So I think this is it. All right, it needs to. So then go to header, content type. Let me see. Content type should be gross. It's not indicated here. Okay. So let's try to send. Is it a post request? It's a post request, as you can see. Oh, I think we should have copied 1.2. I'm going to update the request.
Content type is there.
So go to SOAP 1.2. You copy the payload. Then this is the base URL. Web sample info. Web sample info. Then this is the path. This is also an API documentation. Only that this one is not in it's not in Swagger. Web sample. It's a post request. Post request. Okay, see, this is the content type that is specified in the API documentation. So we have to consider that. Because if you don't put it, the API request will not return the right response. So I'm going to comment this. Content, you type content type. then you put this there. So it's a post request. Then let's send. Let's see if we'll get. You can see this endpoint is to return all list of code, country codes. You can see our API is returning the right response. So it's returning 200. Okay. That means things are working as expected. So if the resource is created, you should be getting 200. You should get a status code 200. So I hope everyone is getting a response. I'll try to, let me get the call for you so that you can import it from your end. So this is the call. I'll be getting that. So try to import using this. So if we've been able to get a response, I want you to indicate in the comment section. Hello, I can't hear anyone. I hope no one is lost on the call. Hello? Have you been able
Lost to?
We on it.
Oh, okay. So let me know.
Please, how did you get that soap collection on the API? How did you get it? Because when I downloaded my own, I did not see it.
Soap collection. No, I'm the one. I created this. I created this one before.
Oh, okay. You added them.
Yes. You are the one
Okay.
that you add it yourself. It's not automatic. You create the collection that you want to work on by yourself.
Okay. So you just type it there. Okay.
Yes, so you can create collection with this plus icon. But to make things easy, I've sent the call to you. All you just need is to just import it. You'll be able to get what I'm getting right here.
Okay.
And what about the endpoint?
Okay, you need the endpoint. Let me send to you. So
I have a question.
Hello?
I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so the request type is post for this post collection, right? But on the side where on the folder, we have get post collection. Why do we have get folder?
Sorry, your voice is going in and out. I can't really hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm saying that on the collection itself, we have on the request is a post request, but then on the folder section, we have get post collection. But the request you're working with is post.
Okay.
I don't understand why we have.
All right. It's because I've not saved it. Let me save it. You can see it's now post.
Thank you.
Welcome. So confirm that you're able to get a response.
Yes, 200, okay.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so the last one is GraphQL. So it's a very, I'll say it's not common because during my years of experience, I've never used this before. So by the form of research, I've been able to come in contact with GraphQL. So I'll drop the link. So GraphQL makes use of query language. So I'm dropping a link for you. So let me go to that link. Copy. Copy that. Okay, you can see the documentation. Another thing you need to consider while testing, as a QA, you should be able to understand the API documentation. So I think this is the third type of API documentation that we are looking at. Although this one is not well structured, but the first one was structured in Swagger. The second one was over the internet space. So this is another one. So if you read through it, it says you can send operation to this graph at this URL. So this is the base URL. And let's go over to our Postman. This graph QL. Okay, so this one is fine. So you paste it over here. Let me get the URL. I'll still send the call. This is the URL. Let me send. So you copy this URL and you copy this query. Let me send the query. I'll send the query to you, the payload. I'll also send the call, so you can choose anyone you like to test. Copy. So I've dropped the call to confirm if you are getting a response. Please unmute so we can proceed. It's already past 1:30 and we still have a long way to go today.
Sorry, I wanted to ask, what for the SOAP use the XML.
Your voice is low. Can you give it a volume, please?
REST uses. No, I know why it's not. Just give me a second. I want to change my.
Okay, so you should be able to hear me now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Yes. Okay, so I was saying, what's so if REST endpoint use JSON and then SOAP endpoint use XML, what format does this graph SQL use?
It's used
Because this is the first time I heard
query.
about it.
Query.
Web query. Okay, query. Okay. Query.
You can see graph QL. So
Yeah.
you
Okay.
raw. You select graph QL. It uses graph QL.
All right.
All right. I believe there are resources online if anyone is interested in learning more about GraphQL. But during my course of testing, is only SOAP and REST that most of the organizations that I've worked with uses. None has used GraphQL before.
So that leads me to my next question. Sorry. I hardly ever see SOAP endpoints. Right. It's what I test. It's usually always RESTful endpoints. But I just want to know what use cases you get to see those SOAP endpoints. Because I hardly ever see them. I think the only time I actually come across SOAP endpoints was when I was testing some USSD services. But aside from that, I've not really done any of that, on SOAP. I want to know what use cases what are the best use cases for REST and for SOAP.
Okay, so SOAP and REST, they are similar. They are the same. It's only the format that is different. I've worked. I think I have worked on a diverse project on SOAP. So at first, when I was trying to work on it, I was like, it's going to be different, but it's the same. It's just the format that is different. So anything that I'll be teaching you today on REST API.
If Amanda send you message, you come and meet me, I will slap you. Tell her to go and tell me herself.
Sorry for that distraction. Okay, so SOAP and REST, they are the same. So every test scenario that you create in SOAP is just the same. In REST, is just the same as SOAP. So there's no difference. So if our time permits us, maybe I can, okay, for every SOAP collection I've worked on, it's only at work. I've never done anything for open resource testing on. So, but I think we can, maybe while brainstorming during the group session, maybe we can have a group that will work on post collection. So I think I will consider that in the course of this training. So it's basically the same. It's only the format that is different. So you generate, if you want to generate random variables, you are asserting for duplicates, asserting for empty data. It's still the same thing. It's only the format that differs. All right.
Thank you.
Welcome. So let's go ahead. The next thing in the agenda is API authentication and authorization. So for API authentication and authorization, so I would like to use some basic examples to get us familiar with the differences between authentication and authorization. So authentication, it's basically means who are you? It's just a question like, who are you? Then authorization is, what do you do? So let me try to come down to, okay, for instance, you are a staff of a company, you're an employee of a company, and most standard organizations have their employees issued an ID card. So we can liken an ID card. When you get to your workspace, you present your ID card to the gate man or security personnel. So they try to validate, like, are you a staff of this company? So they allow you into the office premises. So after entering the office premise, you have to use your access card to have access to the organization. So while doing that, we can term that as authorization. So let me bring it down to APIs. So during authentication in API, you authenticate with a valid username and a valid password. So after that has been authenticated, so then you are now authorized into the API resource. So for instance, you want to log in into an application, you provided your username and your password. So there are other things like maybe add cards, initiate transaction. So you should have completed the process of authentication before you are authorized to perform other actions. So there are several forms of authorization, but I will not really delve into that. So we have basic authorization. So for basic authorization, it's make use of your username and your password is normally encoded in a base 64 form. So that is basic authorization. Then for authorization token, so you have your username and your password. It's generated in a form of a token. So I'll say auth token is safer than basic authentication. So let's quickly move over to different HTTP status code that we have. So during the course of your test running APIs, you be encountering different status code. So we have 200, we have the 200 series, the 400 series, the 500 series. So for 200, it means, okay, we've seen a lot of 200, okay, why checking types of API. Then 201 means created, maybe you try to create a user. When you create a user, you get a status code that is 201. 202 means accepted. Maybe you are trying to submit a resource, then it's accepted. Then 203 means you are not authorized, not authoritative information. Then 204 means no content. So after a resource has been deleted, so what you get is 204, no content there. There's no content there. So let's move over to the level 400. So for level 400, it means bad request. Maybe you are trying to log in with a username and your password. So you tried entering, maybe you for the password field, you enter a single number. So it might return a bad request. In other words, means you are passing a wrong input. So another one is 401. You are trying to, like I earlier mentioned, we have before you can be authorized, you should have been authenticated. So that means you are not authentication, therefore you are not authorized to have access to the resources. Then we have 403, forbidding. Then let me move over to the level 500. We have 500, which is internal server error. So if you get 500 while testing an app, you have to reach out to your developer. The developer reaches out to the DevOps to check if there is something wrong with the resource on the server. So that means maybe the resource, there's something wrong with the resource. There is no handshake. That's why you are getting 500. So you can just go through this. You can check it over the internet. So let's move on. So for API automation testing strategy, we have two forms that you can apply while automating an API. The first one, I'll call it a data-driven approach, and the second one is workflow-driven approach. So for the data-driven approach, so it involves you trying to check all possible input combination. For instance, as a QA, what you have to look out for while testing an API is, the first thing is you have to check how errors are handled. For instance, when you try to log in with an invalid password, you should get a response message that says enter a username or a password. Most organizations enter invalid username or password because they don't want to overexpose their API. In other words, if you don't enter password and you return something like invalid password, that means you are exposing your APIs to hackers. So most times they return messages like invalid username or password. So that being said, another thing you check out for is you check out for duplicate. So as a user, when I'm trying to create a resource, if I'm already registered, I shouldn't be able to register with the same email address. It all depends on what is set in the database as the unique ID. If email is a unique ID, the same user should not be able to register with the same email. Or if the unique ID is phone number, phone numbers are unique. No two entities have the same phone number. So you should flag an error that there is duplicate record. So that is that about data-driven approach. Then the workflow-driven approach. This is just to mimic the real life flow of a customer. For instance, in an organization, you have an application maybe for merchants. So as a merchant, before you can have access to make transaction, you have to be registered with all sorts of documents like CSC registration and the likes. So when that has been completed, then you have been approved as a merchant, then you can go ahead to make transactions. So that's like a workflow. You can arrange your API collection in such a way that it's mimics a customer workflow. So in other words, if you try to make transaction before registering, you won't get the right response because you are not following the right workflow. So those are the two approaches. So during this course of training, we'll be using the two approaches. So then I said the sample. Let me drop the link of the API that we will be working on. So this is it. So I earlier mentioned that before you commence creating API collection, you should have documented a test case. So this is a sample. I don't know if you can see this. This is a sample of, let me try to go to the link. I have a sample here with you. I'll still share it with you. Just a minute. Just a minute, I'll get it for you. So API test case, it differs for different organizations. It depends on the templates by organization. So there is no right or wrong approach to create test case, API test case document, as long as your test case, it contains the actual, the expected result, the status code. So it all depends on the organization. So I'll be sharing what I'll be using for the first during the course of this training.
bó ṣe wá tó kó lo command prompt yẹn bó ṣe ní láì ní.
Hello.
Sorry, I have a question, but I don't know if it's too early to ask it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so one of the issues that I usually face, right, is I don't know if it's too early to ask it, but so if you write your test cases out now, for instance, like written these test cases down, and then each of these test cases are for probably different requests in the collection. If I want to run this test, say I'm running it without manually sending the request, in the sense that I'm not running the collection now. I'm running it on a continuously. So the automation is doing the post request, sending get request by itself, doing all those things by itself.
Okay.
Is there a way we can do that instead of manually running the collection all the time, or trying to run each individual test case? And then and also for special cases where you just want to try if the verbs if the verbs are correct. Like let's say you have a get request, but you're trying to just test to see if a post request will work. Just to check the API. How do you to test change that at the same request? That's why I said I don't know if it's too early. Like if I just give me a brief overview before we get
Okay. It's possible to run that. So these are one of the things we'll still touch in this training. So it's possible for you to, after setting your tests manually. So let me try to mention to you that Postman is a black box tool. Like it's a black box tool. It's still in some way it's still manual, but why we call it automation is you can get to use a test runner or integrate it with Jenkins and just send your test. So your other question is I think I lost touch of your other question. You said if you can add okay, like you are testing you are validating if it's the right API verb. So if you want to test that, you have to manually write the script in your Postman. So there are different runners. You can run using Newman on a CLI on your command prompt. So by doing that, if you want it to run without human intervention, so that means you need to you can set it on Postman to be running maybe twice daily. It's possible to do that on Postman. Then another option is to integrate it with Jenkins and set cron jobs. Anytime you want it to be running, it will keep running. So we'll still get to that part in this training because there are so the people on this call is a mix or blend of people that are new to Postman training or people that have been using it before. So I need to like build that knowledge before we get to that part. So we'll still get to the part of automation. So
okay, thank you.
All right. So this is a sample. This is a sample API test case. So after drafting all your test scenarios, so the next thing is for you to go to Postman. Just a minute. I hope I have not missed anything out. Okay. Okay. So we are going to be starting the answer right now. So I hope I have dropped the link. So everyone can go to this link. So what we are going to be working on this user. Can you see? Let me briefly show you what we are driving at, like the end goal. Let me open. So this pep store collection. Can you see? So you should be able to for your API automation scripts, you should cover positive and negative scenarios. So let me try to run this to answer the question. Please, you forgot to mention your name. Hello, the person that just finished asking the question. You forgot.
Sorry, my name is Anthony.
Your name is
Anthony.
Okay,
Anthony.
Okay, Anthony. Okay, so let me try to run this. So this is what we are trying to achieve. I can't run this on web until I download. Let me check it here. Pep Store. Pep Store. I think, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to be running the collection. So in this test, some things might fail. It might fail there because that's how I wrote the test. Because this is an open API, there are some things that are not supposed to, that I'm not getting the expected response. So I asserted it as a failed request. So when I see that some things failed, so let me run it. Okay, you can see this failed. Hello, are you here with me? So this is what we are trying to achieve.
Yes, yes.
So after achieving this, we should be able to move it to, we should be able to integrate with Jenkins. And by a click of a button, we should be able to run our tests. So why I have this field is the response time is less than 1,000. It's not below 1,000. It's more than 1,000. You can see 1252. So for this, I made this test field because I made it to fail because the status code is 400. The status code should be 400, but I got 200. Because this is a free API, that's why it's having this. But in your organization, these are some of the flaws that you will flag to your developers. So you need to be conversant with all the status code. If it is 200, it should return 200. If it is 400, you should return 400 with the right response message. So these are the things that you report. So until everything is fixed, then you can certify that this project is ready for deployment. So let's go over to.
I have a question, please.
Okay.
Yeah. How do they even generate the test cases? Or is it possible we have a look on the positive and negative test cases?
Okay.
That you created?
All right. So generating the test scenarios. So you can actually use this, the part of API. Thank you for reminding me. So you can use AI to generate test scenarios. So I will go to ChatGPT now and write a prompt. So you just write let's see. Okay, so before I go over to this, so the way I came up with the test scenario, I earlier mentioned it that what you look out for while creating API test scripts is you look out for positive and negative scenarios. So I will try to classify negative scenarios under, I'll classify boundary value edge cases. So under negative scenario. So first thing is, yes, you check out for valid, passing valid entries in your API request. Does it return 200? Does it return the expected responses as stated in the API documentation? Then another thing is you check for all the resources. Let's say we send a request. Let's say you want to create a user ID. It's return when you, after creating, it will return ID. It return your name, your first name. So as a QA, you have to write some assertion to ensure that the name, the username, all those fields are not empty. Then you check each, you write a test to check through all those fields. Then you check for invalid. Let's say you have created a resource before. You are trying to search for the resource. Are you able to fetch the resource? You write a test for that. Then invalid data, that falls under edge scenario, maybe trying to pass special characters and the likes. So that's the way. Let me write a prompt. Write a test case. Test case scenario for a user. I can get the URL. Let me get the URL. This is the power of AI. You don't have to wrap your brain for anything. Just use AI to enhance your delivery. Write a test case scenario for a user.
Okay, so that means the chat GPT would go into this resource.
Yes. Using positive, negative, edge cases, boundary. So depending on what it returns, it's not left for you to take out things. You know, this is just a guide. So with this, add a new, ask is new user. Scenario for a user. Wait, let me rewrite it. For a user. Still writing text. Okay, so from this, you can see that these are scenarios. Can you see? So in any of at work, you can just use AI to quickly generate some pointers for test case scenarios. So you apply that so that you can have a wide test coverage. So that can be like an assist for you. So you can see that was what I used to create this. Verify successful. User cannot create user with invalid data, empty data, duplicate data, cannot. So all those stuff. So that's how you generate your scenario. Then you go over to Postman to create something like that. Let me show you before. These are all the negative scenarios. So
can it be opened?
what do you say? This one?
Yes, okay, to see the content. Okay.
Okay, this one will still touch Fakers library. I already finished automating this. So we'll still get to that. So these are being fetched from a Faker library in Postman. So it will generate a random ID, this and this. So I think we should just go over. Let's start creating ours. So let's go to this Swagger link to make things fast. Maybe I should just export for you. Are you on the screen now?
Yes.
But if I export for you, you have access to all this stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. Come. Wait.
We can access the Swagger also from here.
I can what?
I said I can access the Swagger documents from here.
Okay. So can you start by creating a folder called pet store? Pet store. Create a folder, name it pet store. This is mine. Create a folder. Create a, yes, it's still this. Create a collection, a blank collection. Name the collection pet store. So after that, you create a folder. So this represents the feature we are trying to automate. So we name it user. So here we have how many requests. So the base features we have here, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the first one, let's try to create an API request for create user. You have it here.
You already have a folder user.
Okay, you already have a folder user. All right. So now you add a request to the folder. Add a request. And you can duplicate the request and duplicate. You'll still be editing it. Duplicate, duplicate. Then I think let's just do create user for now. Create user. So you can name it in camel case. Create user. So camel case means the starting text is in lowercase. Then the other part will be starting with a capital letter. So create user. You don't know. I think small letter. It all depends on your choice. You can name it as you like. You can name everything in uppercase. So this is what I'll be using. So then you get the base URL. I hope you have the base URL. This is the base URL. Can you see it? This is the base URL. The base URL is here. So what we should be writing now is the create user. This is it. This is the endpoint. So the part is /user. So you go over to your endpoint, put /user there, /user. Then this should be, can somebody tell me what the API verb should be as indicated in the API documentation?
Post.
Okay, so posts. Then you go over and get the body. Copy the body here. Go to body. Go to raw. Select JSON. JSON is already selected. Then click here. Then you can now go over and put your name there. Put your data. So Experiencing. Software.
The payload is in the chat, right? Payload.
Yes, it's in the chat already. But you can go over to it. You can copy it from here.
Okay, okay.
Copy it from here. Then put your desired name, first name, all the entries that you want to put it there. And software. Password. Phone number. So status 0 means inactive, 1 means active. So are we ready? Send. I'm sending mine. So you get the response of 200. So if it's an API that is not for text, you should get other records like username, the email, it should be returned. But because this is just a free API resource, it is not returned yet. We still get to use another API that has more that is more structured compared to this. But for a start, we are using pet store. So confirm if we are getting this.
Everything is in it.
Are you getting this? Are you getting 200?
We are still editing the payload.
Okay. Let me know when you're done. So you can see we just wrote the first test script, which is to create user. So that means this has passed.
The post URL.
Yes.
How did you get to place the endpoint of the post?
How did I get the endpoint of the post URL?
Yes.
Okay, so you go to your Swagger documentation. This is the base URL.
Yes.
Slash.
Okay.
This part user.
Okay.
That's how for create user. So let's go. Let's go ahead. Are we all good? Can I move on to the next endpoint?
Yes.
Okay, so the next one is create user list. This is create user list. So go ahead and
in the last one, we got 404 not found.
404 not found.
I'm also getting 404 not found.
Are you sure you're passing the right thing? I hope there is no space. Wait.
Okay, let me check.
Just a minute. Go to your header. You need to set content type as application JSON. Check your header. Click on your header.
It's on JSON.
Your endpoint, is it correct?
Let me check.
This is the endpoint. I'm sending the endpoint. That's the endpoint. I'm also sending the body. So, however, this is my own. Try and copy the payload that I sent.
Okay.
And try to send it. If you are not still getting 200, that means I'll need to send you the call.
Yeah, it's okay now. 200, okay.
Okay, you are fine now. Just a minute. Someone is not getting the invite. Just a minute. I want to send to this reply all.
That's what Nigerians did there around for Twitter. Guy. Very stupid. And I real Iran Army official page. I tell you, I've been Nigerians.
Sorry, Daniel, you're unmuted.
That guy, that guy.
All right, it's muted now. Okay, so can you go over and create user list? Let me see if you are really getting what you're doing. So this is user list. Create endpoint for user, create with list from your end. So your timer starts now.
An exercise.
Yes, it's an exercise. Create with list. This endpoint, try to create it from your end. So, are you done? Are you done?
We're on it.
Let me create mine. Create user list. me do something else so that you don't get to cheat what I'm doing. User login.
No 200 on now.
200. Okay. That's cool. So, go ahead and create. We still have we have a login, log out user, username, update. So the next one is create user login. And always remember to save. Click on save to save your changes. I hope everyone is on user login. I hope no one is having issues creating user lists. Anyone having issue with user list? Is everyone fine?
We're just on it.
Should we repeat the same payload?
No, I don't think it's not the same payload.
Okay, we can copy this.
User list. Oh, okay. Let me send you
It's post.
So you actually repeat it. You put a comma here and enter another entry. So
Okay.
if you are just creating more than one user. So a list of users using an endpoint to create several user lists. So just let me see.
Please, I got 500.
Something is wrong. Okay, go to your payload. Oh, this is it, not this one. Go to your body or payload. Click raw, JSON, and copy this. Let me send it on the chat. You can change the ID to anything that you want.
Actually put comma, but it's still giving error here. The payload.
Let me see. Did you check your posts? Is it set to the right request? Then your path, is your path correct? User slash create with list. User. Let me look up. User slash. That's the name. Create this. Post. User slash. Are you sure you have user slash create? Check your
User slash user. Okay.
create with list.
Are we supposed to create many lists?
And you can create more than 2, 3, 10, any as much as any list you want to create. Let me check now. I hope everyone is on user login. I hope no one is having issues creating user lists. Anyone having issue with user lists? Is everyone fine?
We're just on it.
Should we repeat the same payload?
No, I don't think it's not the same payload.
Okay, we can copy this.
User list. Oh, okay. Let me send you.
It's post.
So you actually repeat it. You put a comma here and enter another entry. So
Okay.
if you are just creating more than one user. So a list of users using an endpoint to create several user lists. So just let me see.
Please, I got 500.
Something is wrong. Okay, go to your payload. Oh, this is it, not this one. Go to your body or payload. Click raw, JSON, and copy this. Let me send it on the chat. You can change the ID to anything that you want.
Actually put comma, but it's still giving error here. The payload.
Let me see. Did you check your posts? Is it set to the right request? Then your path, is your path correct? User slash create with list. User. Let me look up. User slash. That's the name. Create this. Post. User slash. Are you sure you have user slash create? Check your
user slash user. Okay.
create with list.
Are we supposed to create many lists?
And you can create more than 2, 3, 10, any as much as any list you want to create. Let me check now. Mine is returning 200. So should I send the endpoint and payload to you for you to try with that? Something must have been wrong with your entries.
Where I have issue is the payload when I'm trying to separate it with comma. It's indicating red arrow here. Sign.
Close.
Okay, I can. Okay, close.
You have two angular brackets, opening it. Then you have this JSON file, the first one, then comma, then another one. Is it now going?
Yes.
Is anyone else having any issues with their request?
I did log in. Got to 200.
Got 200. So go ahead, fire on this. And the next one is logout user. So the way I'm arranging it, we are using a workflow. I know I mentioned that there are two approaches.
Hello, ma. On my login, I'm getting 405, and I am using post method.
405. 405 means maybe the method you are passing is wrong. After putting post, can you try to save?
How do you see it?
Hello?
Any progress? Yes. Are you still getting 405?
Let me save and try again. I'm still getting 405.
405 for user list or user login?
I log in. I use the username and password.
Let me see. Is the username and password that you created that you are using? Check.
Yes. Yes, is the one. Do sync. And the password is password.
Can you use a different, try to create a new user?
Okay.
Try and change and the username and change the password while running your test, because same person cannot create the same username with different password. When you try to log in, you might be getting some funny errors. So maybe you should use your own name.
All right.
Create yourself as a user and try to log in. That's it. Let me change my. Oh, so while I'm logging.
Please, I have a question.
Okay.
On the user login endpoint,
Yes.
do you pick one of the user name and password that you created in the create with list endpoint?
You can also pick one from there, but what I used was the one I passed in create user. That was what I'm using to log in.
Okay. So you put it as parameter?
Yes.
And also for the create user list, we are using get method.
Then you can
Yes, okay.
check the okay, it's post method. We are creating. For creating, it will always have a payload. But for get will not have a payload. Because you just need the ID of what you are fetching.
Yeah. Right, wait. It's okay.
Okay, so just go ahead. The next one is logout. Let me try to write it on the chat. So what we are doing right now is we are using the workflow approach. So after applying this workflow, we'll now go over to data driven. So what we are doing right now is to create just positive scenarios. So we now go ahead and expand those scenarios. So let me write a flow in the chat. Create user, um, create user list, create user list, and user login, log out user, get username, get username, update user, and delete user. So that should be the workflow. So we still have a lot of things to cover. We have to cover, um, I think, creating variables and assertions. Every request scripts is also there. So we really need to move fast. I want us to finish by
The logout is error 405.
log out with error 405. Okay, let me see.
Method not on.
It should be a get request. Are you sure you have a get request there?
Yes. Yes, that's passed. Sorry.
Okay. So go over to
Which time give us 2,000?
Hello? Hello? Okay, the logout is working, but the login is not working.
Now, 4,000 I can't for mine. So,
It was a good one.
Hello? You are using get method for both login and logout? Hello?
Hello, sorry, I got muted. Can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you now.
And I can hear you.
Hear you now. Yes, we can hear you.
All
The
right.
pin is for the login.
Okay, so the API verb should be, the API call should be a get request. It's a get request that was implemented.
Okay.
However, in reality, it should be a post request. So I was saying these are part of the flaws that you report as the QA engineer in your organization. So a login request should be a post request. But because this is a free API, that's why we have things not well documented and implemented.
Okay.
So for anyone getting 405 method, we tell you to get request. It works. Right, when I do post request, I'm getting the same error you were getting.
Yeah, I've seen it. The get to request is working now for the login and logout.
Yeah, so that is one of the defects that you can report. So you can go ahead and do the logout too. Log out your session. Log out. So in order for us to move fast, I think I will leave you to do the other three endpoints. Get username, update user, and delete user. Since you already have the workflow on the chat. So just apply.